Hi, I'm Jason from StrataGames, and today we're playing White Weenie, one of my favorite decks to showcase in Pauper, and we have this new card to try out, Choco. It's a 3/3 that is Saga creature for 3 mana, and other creatures you control get +1/+0. The turn it enters, and 3 more turns beyond that. So 4 turns, you get this whole team pump, which can be really, really strong. Of course, we're taking out Guardian's Pledges to do this, which means we don't have that burst +2/+2 for our whole team. So it's a little bit trade-off of explosiveness to get more consistency, and also just a nice attacker itself. It's a 4-turn Saga, it has Summoning Sickness on turn 1, and it dies before we can attack on turn 4. So actually, it only can attack itself for 2 turns, but it does pump the rest of your team for 4 turns, which can be pretty strong. I'm also playing Militia Bugler, which is not a card I'm a huge fan of in general, but I know that the mono white aficionados generally play 4 of them. I'm playing 3, that's as much as I can muster, so we'll see how much I like those. Also, just because I haven't tried it out yet, and I've been wanting to for a very long time, I have a One of Great Sword of Tyr. I don't think it's amazing, but it's really nice utility. It gives a +1/+1 counter and taps down a blocker, which can be especially helpful if you have like a couple birds in the air and they happen to have 1 reach creature where it's like, oh, I don't want to attack with my 2 or 3 birds because I'll lose 1 into a reach creature, but if you can tap it down every time and grow your creatures, it's pretty powerful. Other than that, pretty standard. We are also running 1 Ramogian Rally, which has become a little bit more standard, but I haven't shown it off, I don't think, in one of my videos yet. Otherwise, we have an Eagles, some Battle Screeches, Prismatic Strands, some Skyfishers and Informants, Novice Inspector, Thraben Inspector, Lunarch Veteran, some Thraben Charms, we have a couple Idyllic Granges, and a whole bunch of Plains. For our sideboard, we got 3 Journey to Nowheres, 4 Lone Missionaries, another Prismatic Strands, 2 Holy Lights, 4 Dust to Dust, and a Palace Sentinels. So let's take it for a spin and see how we do. All right, here we are round 1 with a pretty reasonable hand. We're going to keep this one against Ramp, it looks like, which is interesting. I could get down a Veteran. Life gain could be relevant. Might as well. Could just be Ponza too, but Jewel Thief generally doesn't mean Ponza. Another Plains isn't bad, so I could play 2 of these, or I could just play an Informant, which can trade with a Jewel Thief. Plus I can get a Prismatic Strands into our graveyard, which I think is where we want it. Yeah, I want to keep my lands for this Battle Screech. They are going to swing. I think we just block. I mean, if they want to, like, Crew Shock it up, I guess that's a little annoying, but then I could Prismatic Strands, so I'm fine with a straight trade there. Honestly, because they have colorless things like Chrysalises, it's possible I should have just used the Strands while we could get a 3-drop out of it. Now, play one of these guys. Do I want to play the second one? I probably just want to investigate. Try to draw for our Choco or something. The Battle Screech, so we'll pass. Another Jewel Thief. Play another 3-drop if they want as well. Just gonna swing with the Chrysalis, we'll take it. 2 damage, not a big deal. Crack a Clue. There's the Choco. And another Veteran. I mean, I think we just Battle Screech, right? Yep, let's do that. Gain a couple life. Flash back, gain a couple more. And we'll pass. Looks like they got a boarding party here. Indeed. Into a Crew Shock. Okay. If they swing, I could expend the Strands to eat the boarding party. It's not terrible. Taking 7. We do that, and then I can crack back with the Choco for 8+. Or I could just take it. We take 13 down to 10. I gain 3. Now I gain 5 back to 15. Attack for 8. And then we have a bunch of blockers for next time. Yeah, I think that might be okay. I think we'll just take it this turn. Idyllic Grange, well, that's an extra power. Start with the Veteran for some more life gain. Or block 3. I think we'll just Grange up a bird for that extra power in the air. Play the Summon. Swing for 9 flying. Not really a reason to swing with these 2. And play an Inspector. We're back at 15, they're at 11. And we have a Prismatic, so I'm not feeling too bad. They also only have 3 mana, since a lot of their mana they used here was on Treasures and Eldrazi. There's an Arbor Elf. Swing with the Crew Shock. There. I don't think I want to use the Prismatic on just that. I think we'll just take it. They have a Repurposer. A lot of blockers on the ground, only 1 Reacher. So if we could just get like another one of these, that would be 9. Or like an Eagles. Just another Plains. Well, we're cracking a Clue then. Another Veteran. Suppose we're just swinging with the birds then. They eat the big one. They take 6, which means without any other pump, we're 1 short of killing them next turn, but we'll be all right, I think. Play another Veteran, gain a couple more. Would have loved a Battle Screech there instead. I think that would clinch the victory. Swing with a couple guys here. I guess Lunarch Veterans. Honestly, don't mind turning a couple of them into flyers. So I might just chump, take 4 here. 4 is not too much. The longer we wait on the Prismatic Strands, the longer they can't really like overcommit. Because if they had like a Bannerhide Crew Shock or like a Ram Through or something, this can hold it back. We do have a Utopia Sprawl, so they're up to 7, 8 mana if they want to get an Altasaur down or something. Avenging Hunter, okay. Not that I really need another basic, but can definitely snag that. And a Witness. Alright. Just draw another Plains. I mean, we're still in an okay spot, but drawing all lands here, not really what I want. We bring this guy back, gain a little bit of life. Swing with these. I don't think we're going to die because we can protect from green. Then we can chump and chump. And then we should be able to get him in the air next turn. That's the goal. They eat 1 bird, go to 1. Get another Plains. We do gain a life as well. I'll play one of these out. Looks like they top decked a Nyxborn Hydra, which is pretty bad. Because they put it on the Chrysalis so we can't prevent the damage. It's going to be 13. I guess we prevent green, we block this and this, and we make sure this doesn't deal us lethal, and we'll be okay. As long as we have anything that can attack back. I think we'll be fine. They don't have any Reachers back, so any guy with flying should finish him off. So let's block here. Gotta block this guy here. Then we can prevent damage from green sources, so we might as well kill this guy. Flashback Prismatic for green. And we should go to 1. Gain a little bit of life. They take the initiative, but they're not on trap or anything, so we're able to attack back and get the game. Prismatic seems decent. Not amazing because of the colorless that they can do, but still seems okay. Journey to Nowhere, definitely good. Great sort of tier. Not sure it's really what we need here, but it can tap down a Reacher, so it seems okay. Just kind of hard to figure out what to take out. Guess we'll trim on just a few creatures. Maybe we don't need that extra strands. 3 is probably enough. 1 land, not feeling it. 1 land, exactly the same hand, basically. I guess we'll go down to 5. This is more than 1 land, so I guess we'll keep this one and get rid of a Grange and a Plains. Not looking too hot. Maybe we should have just kept the Plains, get rid of the Battle Screech, and just hope to draw something, knowing that most anything we can draw, we can play at that point, whereas here, if we need a Plains before you can play any of our 3 drops. Might have been better. Fortunately, they have the Arbor Elf, which I can't do anything about. We do draw another Plains. Take this guy out next turn, but it could already have done a lot of damage by then. Utopia Sprawl on the Forest, so okay. No extra land and no 2-drops good. Journey to Nowhere. So I could just Thraben Charm the Arbor Elf, or I could Journey to Nowhere the Arbor Elf, and then if they don't have a 2-drop or a land or anything, I could Thraben Charm the Utopia Sprawl. That's kind of tempting. I think I'm going to give that a try. Not sure it's the best play. They untap the Arbor. They untap with the Arbor Elf. We're going to take it out, and we're going to swing for 1. Not sure it's the best, but they didn't have anything to play for 2 mana there, and if they don't draw a land, they don't have anything here either. And so I could just play this Choco, but I think we're going to take a turn and blow up their Utopia Sprawl. Set them back even more, which I guess we might as well do in their upkeep, just for best practices. Just in case they have something on the end step here, like a Deglammer, which is exactly what I was thinking. Yep, so I actually probably just want to shoot the Arbor Elf in that case. Well, I tried, but it was not meant to be. They have another Arbor Elf. Pass to us. We get a Great Sword. Yeah, things are going to start falling apart because they can now play a Chrysalis. Do I save the summon for the Battle Screech? Probably. I guess I just start pumping up this Inspector. Tap this and get a counter. They got a Repurposer. And a Wildling. Roostseek, okay. Haven't seen that in the Gruul Ramp deck, but it makes sense. Place a couple lands with that. I could play the Choco, but it feels like I probably just play an Inspector. So let me crack a clue here. Get a Plains. Well, that means we can Battle Screech next turn. I'll swing and I'll tap down the Spawn. So if they want to block, they have to do it with the Repurposer, which this is going to be a 3/4, so that's fine. Take 3. We'll play another Inspector. I think I want to leave the Great Sword over here so that I can just keep getting one big guy that we'll eventually be able to trade with. or at least block or attack through like a Chrysalis and an Avenging Hunter and stuff like that. Speaking of, there's the Chrysalis. Sack a couple spawn right away for a Jewel Thief. That is a little annoying, because now I can't tap down the Chrysalis without them being able to just double block with 3/3s. Thraben Charm. Not bad, but I think if we just Battle Screech here, next turn we can Choco Mog and equip the Greatsword to a bird, which can attack past the Chrysalis. That could be pretty decent. Assuming we don't get Breath Weaponed, which would be pretty bad. They cast a Hydra for +4 on the Chrysalis, not +5, interestingly. And they swing with all of these guys. I'm going to have to take a big hit here, but we can block a 3/3, and we can Thraben Charm away the Hydra next turn. Although that might mean we have to not summon this guy, which is fine. Although, wait, if we don't block this and give him a 3/3, if I play the summon, we have 10. We just have lethal. Which means, how could they stop this? I don't know if they're playing like a bolt or something, which means they could take this out if I block only. They could just have like an Arbor Elf, and then I can't take out both blockers unless I block here. There's a risk either way, but I'm not really expecting a removal spell, so if we just block here, I could potentially just kill him on the crackback. But they did leave back 1 mana from the Nyxborn Hydra, which makes me think they have something. So we'll see, but looks like they're just passing to us. It's a tough call, because if we play the Choco Mog and it's not lethal somehow, then we might lose on the crackback. We'll have a blocker for this, and this can block 3. I think it makes sense to just play this. This is 14 damage here, 15 with the Greatsword. So 5 and 13. So I guess maybe I just leave back an Inspector as an extra blocker. But if they have like a Bolt, that won't work. Yeah, I guess we're swinging with everybody. I guess if they also have a way to kill their own Chrysalis, they could have a Nyxborn Hydra as a blocker, but that's fine for us. They have a Tamiyo's Safekeeping to gain 2 life, which means it's good that we attacked for 15. Safekeeping is probably one I should have thought about, but not used a ton in Gruul decks. But this is still lethal. All right, I guess we got there. All right, on the play here, no 1-drop, but a nice 2 and 3, plus potentially 4 lands. We're keeping this one for sure. Play a Plains and pass. Tough call if I just want to cycle the Eagles so that if we draw a Battle Screech, I can play it on curve. I think it's more likely that that happens than that I cast this Eagles in this game. Obviously, neither's impossible, but for that reason, I think we will cycle and pull out the Grange. One of them, anyway. Get a summon, player Informant. Get a Veteran. Interesting. I definitely want the Veteran around, I think, to gain some life against Rakdos Burn. Prismatic's always tough because like I want to use it twice, but I also kind of want to use it for free. Malicious Bugler's a little slow, but it's the main value we got going for us at the moment. I think we are going to bin the Strands. Just something they have to play around. If they want to try to take out our pressure early, they cannot. Well, they try to just bolt. And do we use this just to protect 1? Yeah, I mean, it's a 3/2 for 2 mana. I think with what else we have going on, the pressure can be pretty good. Hold them off a little bit. Skyfisher isn't bad. Swing for 3. We have a tough call. We can just get down a Bugler, or I can get down a Veteran and a Skyfisher, but I just have to pick up a Plains, probably. This gives us more creatures. It also gains us more life because we get the Veteran down early, and then it makes it so we can summon next turn, which seems pretty good. Also gives them another thing they want to deal with, so I think this is probably the play. Just wish we had a better, different 2-drop. Like, Skyfisher is great, but also is sometimes awkward. Because I'd prefer to be playing it a turn later, pick up the Grange, but we'll just pick up a Plains here, I think. Since we're only playing a 3-drop next turn anyway, it's not that big of a deal. Unless we top deck a 1-drop. But this is 6 damage right here, 9 with the Choco Mog. They Faithless Looting with just a black up, so they could definitely Alms or Kitchen Imp, but Kitchen Imp can't get through unless they have untapped Mountain and a Bolt. Alms of the Vein is fine. Also discard a Voldar and Epicure, so not the best hand from them, it appears. They do get the Mountain, though. They just play an Epicure. That is going to hold back some damage, because I don't really want to attack with this into it, and they could just chump this, so they could hold back a bunch. Thraben Charm. They don't have enough in their graveyard yet for me to worry about that. I think I'm actually just playing the Bugler this turn. So I'll swing for 5 here and get a little Bugler action. Gain a life. And we get our pick of Novice Inspectors. We'll take the first one, of course, not the second. Now they got a Faithless Looting with a bunch of mana. Kitchen Imp, and an Alms. That can put us to 12 with the Kitchen Imp swinging. Another Epicure. So we're down to 11. But we can gain 2 more this turn. Another Grange. I think we buff up the Veteran so it doesn't just die to 1 Epicure. Then we can play Inspector and the Summon Chocomog and just swing with everybody. I could leave back the Skyfisher if I'm worried about the Kitchen Imp. This is only 10 though. This is 13. Makes it a lot easier to go for it next turn. This puts us to 11. They have 2 cards in hand. They draw a third. I think we're just swinging with everybody and regretting it if we lose because of it. They are going to double block the Informant. That makes sense to me. Take 9 down to 9. Flashback Faithless Looting. Another Kitchen Imp and a Snacker. Snacker's a little late, so I'm not too worried about that. Kitchen Imp feels like it's going to have to be on guard duty. And an Epicure. I mean, that could block this, but this is still 11 damage. So they're going to have to leave back at least 2 blockers. So we have a Thraben Charm. I think we're in a good spot. Yeah, if they swing with 1, we can Thraben Charm away at the other one, and we'll be able to get there. Okay, they decide not to swing, wisely. Trigger goes off. We only have 2 mana to spend here, so might as well crack a clue, see if we get anything else relevant. A 1/1. Oh, I guess I can just play a Grange, make this 3 power as well. That means everything's 3 power, which means they have to block 3 of them. We can take out a Kitchen Imp, and they can't block all 3. And we're able to take game 1. We get another Prismatic and 4 Lone Missionaries. Exchange for that Greatsword doesn't seem that great to me here. Buglers are a little slow. Inspector. Maybe just so we don't have too many 2-drops over 1-drops, we'll cut a couple Informants. Skyfisher's nice because it blocks Kitchen Imp. And yeah, I just don't want to get too overloaded with 2-drops. We still drew both of the Informants, but this hand looks solid. Again, we can do 1-drop, 2-drop, hold up Prismatic Strands. No 1-drop from them is nice. And no tap land, which means they could have both their colors, but it would need to not be duels, which could be relevant later. They could just like have a bolt or something for sure. And they do. And a Swamp, Trespasser's Curse. Well, that is annoying. Luckily, we still have all the Thraben Charms in the deck, so we can definitely have a way to destroy it. But for now, it's going to ping us for a bit. Play a Rafine's Informant. I think we're just going to ditch that Prismatic, so we have it available to us. Vampire's Kiss. And a Carnarium. Lone Missionary's good. We're swinging for 3. Getting the most guys down is Skyfisher plus Inspector here. But, of course, we're taking damage for every guy we get down, so it's possible that we actually just want a Lone Missionary to gain life, and then we can potentially pick it up with a Skyfisher next turn. It's slower, but we do need to be worried about... Like, I've played against Curse before with a bunch of creatures in a deck, and it can deal you easily 10 damage if you just don't worry about it and throw out creatures willy-nilly, so... I do have a Chain Lightning for the Informant. I'll just let that one go. If they try to kill this, I might Prismatic it. I got an Alms of the Vein. Down to 17. And pass. Plains is good. Swing for 2. And I'll play an Inspector. And yeah, I'll pick up the Lone Missionary for a little extra life with the Skyfisher. Try to keep our life total high. Also, playing a Battle Screech without a Lunarch Veteran is going to be tough. Can't really afford to take 4 off of it. They have an Epicure. They are running out of cards, which is nice. We are running low-ish on life, though. Swing for 3. Play our Missionary and then an Inspector. Response to the Missionary, they play a Fiery Temper. I don't know if there's any way they could have lethal on us here. But, okay, they're just going to take out the Skyfisher. That's fine. I guess, I don't think it's really played, but they might have been worried at the potential for an Ephemerate on the Skyfisher to pick up the Lone Missionary, which I don't think it's really played, but it's reasonable to play around things if there's no reason not to. We're still at 15. We got an Alms of the Vein. Oh, what they were doing, I'm realizing now, was that Prismatic Strands I could use if I had the Lone Missionary down, and they didn't want me to be able to use that, so that makes more sense than my other thought. They have a Grab the Prize, but no damage because they're discarding a Mountain, and they're going to pass. Lunarch Veteran's always a good draw. Eagles of the North's not terrible. We're going to cycle that for a Grange. Play the Grange to buff up the Missionary so it survives the Epicure. In response, they're going to try to Electrickery it. That's a tough call. Prismatic Strands just to save this guy, but it is about to be a 3-2. And I want to play this Mog and start dealing damage. I could instead... I could prevent this. I could play an Informant, discard a Battle Screech, and then flash it back. But we're taking 3 off of that. So we're at 9. Plus they gain life, which is really tough. But then the Mog gets really good. Oh, we're taking not 9. We're down to 7 if we flash back the Battle Screech. Or no, I'd only be flashing it back. So yeah, I would be at 9. That's a tough call. But then I have 6 guys dealing 12 damage at least. 14 more like. Over the course of 2 turns. I don't think we're going to survive that. I really don't. So I don't think I'm doing that, but I think I am flashing this back. I think keeping a 3-2 or what's going to be a 4-2 with this Choco is pretty good. Definitely a tough call, but I think we need to have some sort of clock here. And if this guy dies and we just have 2 2-2s right now, that's not really enough for me. And a 3-even Charm would have been so good about 3 or 4 turns ago. Hard cast a Kitchen Imp. I mean, that's good that they have to do that, but still, taking 2 in the air is not my favorite. Chain Lightning to the Dome. We just draw Plains. Can't really Battle Screech. That'll put us too close to death. So let's Clue, hope to draw a Prismatic or or any of our cards that would be good here. And we don't. I think we're playing an Informant. It does make it so that Kitchen Imp plus a Bolt is lethal, but I think we gotta do something. Try to draw something. Just another Plains. Discard this Battle Screech because the counter's better than casting that at the moment. We'll swing for 11. I mean, if they don't have anything, you know, we're in an okay spot for next turn, but we're gonna block. They don't swing. Okay. Which means they don't have a Bolt. They block here. They take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're at 15, though, because of this guy. And we draw another land. Crack a Clue. We draw Plains. Crack a Clue. A Lone Missionary is not terrible. I mean, if they couldn't kill us from 5, it's going to be hard to kill us from 8. Especially because they got to block with this Kitchen Imp. They'll block there. We're going to play this guy. Lose 1, but we gain 4. And we'll pass. Fiery Temper the Choco. I guess if they can take this out too, they won't be dead on board. Battle Screech, not great. Well, we're swinging with the team, but they don't have anything. All right, that was a close one. The fact that we didn't find removal for the curse and we got super flooded at the end was pretty unfortunate, but luckily we're able to get there anyway, in no small part due to the Lone Missionaries. All right, the Grange here makes it a little awkward, but we're not throwing this hand back for sure. Ideally, we'll just draw Plains in the first couple turns so that we can go 1, 2, 3, etc. Looks like either more Rakdos Madness or potentially just a red of some variety. Start with the Veteran no matter what. Another Battle Screech could be good later, but not really what we want right now. They're swinging. We're going to take it. Kazakh Flame Breather. So it looks like Pinger Burn or Mono Red Madness. We do get another Plains, which is nice. So I can just play an Informant. Yeah, pitch a Battle Screech. We can't use it this turn, but we can use it next turn potentially, unless they start... I mean, as soon as they see that we have a Battle Screech in our graveyard, they might try to pick off all our creatures, which would be annoying, but what are you going to do? I don't really need 2 of these in our hand, so we'll pass to them. Blood Token away a Fiery Temper. So it is Madness. Do they want to take out the Informant or the Veteran is the question. Probably the Veteran, but it's always tough to just look at stats and kill a 1-1 over a 3-2. And they are going for the Informant. But they also play Lava Darts usually, so they can potentially just pick this off with a smaller removal spell. They're going to swing for 2. And they have an Epicure. All right. Good news is... Ooh, another Veteran's actually even better. I was going to play the Skyfisher, pick up a Plains, even though it sets our land count back, play the Inspector, and then play the Battle Screech. But now that we got a Veteran, we can gain double the life. We don't even have to set our land back. We play this, we gain 1,000,000. Then we Battle Screech. And now we're rolling in life. Back up to 22. Still play our Grange. Much better position, and now we can summon next turn if we want. I mean, a land would be great so we can double Battle Screech again. They have to discard a mountain with a blood token. Desperate, looking for something. Swinging with everybody. I think we're just taking 3. And they have another Flame Breather. We got the summon. Flame Breather does hold off the veterans, annoyingly. So if I play a summon, I can't really swing at them unless I want to lose one, which means I can't really attack with this, which means I'm only getting in for 4. Or I could be willing to lose one and get in for 8. And then I do that again with another and get in for 6. That's not terrible, but I could also just play a Skyfisher, buy back an Inspector, gain 4 life, have an extra flyer. I think that's a little better. So I'm going to swing with these guys. The Inspector's just a bluff, but on the off chance they don't block, hey, it's a free damage. And then we'll play a Skyfisher, pick up the Inspector, and replay it. They're just passing to us, which is great. Another Screech. Well, this time we're just playing one of these guys. And even if we can't really get in on the ground, I can just swing for 7 in the air, which is pretty good. Plus, if I play another one next turn, then all of these guys will be able to attack into 1/3s. And if they don't even have any removal, then they're just down to 10. Thrum of the Vestige. Lightning Bolt targeting the Choco. Makes sense. Can't do anything about it. We're going to swing with a couple Flame Breathers. I guess I'll block here. If they want to like Lava Dart this, that's fine. They're also just making it easier to attack back. Now we get the planes, so I could summon, which means we can hit for... It's not quite lethal. It's only about 9. So I don't think there's a reason to. I think we'll just go with the Battle Screech, gain a bunch of life. I'm not expecting them to have End the Festivities in their main deck. If they do, and they're able to draw to it, you know, then we're going to be in some trouble. But if not, yeah, they're going to Lava Dart the veterans here. Prevent the life gain. Makes sense. Flash it back as well. Still, them losing a land is not inconsequential. It's still pretty good for us. And we're still at 18, which feels pretty good. Even if they have a Fire Blast, that's 6 damage, so we're at a virtual 12. If they have a Lightning Bolt and another Lightning Bolt on top of that, that's 10. And I guess if we block here and here, you know, if they have 2 Lightning Bolts and a Fire Blast, they actually can get us here. Which is not the most ridiculous hand, so I probably should have played a little bit more around it. Left back a bird, another bird or something. Because if they swing all out, I am now blocking. But yeah, I could definitely lose here, and that was a bit of a mistake. Grab the prize on a Fire Blast, okay. That means that they would still need a Fire Blast and a Mountain and a Bolt, and that would still be 1 short. So, okay, we were able to dodge. Like I said, I should have thought about how can I lose here, and if I had those exact 3 cards, I would have lost. So, didn't quite play that perfectly, but we were able to get there. We do get to bring in the 4 missionaries again and the strands. Generally, against like a Kuldotha red, I like taking out a Thraben Charm because there's not a certain target you would really want to kill, but against a deck like this, you want to get rid of the Flame Breathers, and if they're playing Gutter Snipes, you really want to get rid of those. Great Sword's not necessary. I think, again, we can cut a couple Informants, an Inspector, and maybe a Battle Screech. This hand's a little slow. I will say, I definitely like the Chocomogs in a lot of ways. The fact that you can't really just play them on an open board without it just being like a bad 3/3 is not great, but they have been pretty good in some ways. They don't have anything here, which is nice. We get a Grange. We do get to play a turn 2 Missionary, potentially a turn 3 Skyfisher, pick up the Missionary, but I'm not really expecting the Missionary to survive. So I would love to pick up like an Inspector or something to pick up with the Skyfisher if we have nothing else. They just plot a Highway Robbery. They're going a little slow, which I appreciate. Another Grange. There's the Missionary. Up to 24. They start with a Faithless Looning. Probably means they don't have any snackers, because they probably would have used the Highway Robbery first to get one out. Could also mean they don't have any Fiery Tempers, because they are... Maybe they did, or maybe they drew it, because they had a less reliable way to use it. But they discard a Fire Blast and a Temper, which I assume it's just going to go face. Okay. Battle Screech. Well, we're going to swing for 2. And I'm going to try to pick this up, the Skyfisher. It's pretty awkward if we don't, to be honest. If they kill it, I have to pick up a land, which they do with a dart. Yeah, and the fact that we don't get to Battle Screech then next turn, kind of annoying. Possible I should have just summoned there, but it just felt like a little bit of a waste, but I guess this is worse. Seeing as they had the dart. I mean, we didn't know they had a removal spell, but they're mono red. They could easily have had one of a dozen different removal spells. So that might not have been great, because we still next turn have to now just play a summon, and it's not great. The Highway Robbery away a Mountain. Good to know that they don't have a ton of gas, or at least didn't. There's a Flame Breather. Another Plains. Well, we're playing this guy now. Swing for 3. They bolt the bird / Saga / Moogle. Swing for 1. They grab the prize with the Snacker. Get that back. Tapped out, though, so we can Battle Screech. I mean, they could just have an Electrickery and the Festivities next turn, which means they'll wipe this away. But seeing as we have the next summon, I think it's worth trying. I guess we'll play the Grange. I was thinking about not playing the Grange because I'd prefer it to be on a bird so that it'll survive and end the Festivities in the future. We already have a Grange for that, and I guess I don't mind the Skyfisher surviving a Lightning Bolt, was a thought, so we'll just do that. They do have the end the Festivities. What are you going to do? Swing for 3 and plot another Robbery. Eagles of the North can come down next turn. So I can Grange up the Skyfisher. It feels like one very big guy. I might just prefer to Grange up an Inspector here. Definitely playing the Inspector. Or I could do it on the summon, Choco, so that it doesn't get it doesn't die to a bolt. Of course, this goes away in a couple turns, but I think the game might be over within the next couple turns. I guess I probably do want to keep this alive. And they're at 15. I think I got to swing for 4. I know it leaves us open to the Snacker, puts us to 9. They have 3 cards, so they could easily have a Bolt and a Fire Blast, but I think this is the best bet for next turn. Down to 9. Play a Mountain and a Gutter Snipe. There it is. 1 card in hand, but they have a Lava Dart from the graveyard. Oh, and they have a Robbery. So that's 3. Lava Dart's 7 total. So yeah, they draw any Bolt and we're dead here. That was going to happen regardless with the Skyfisher attacking, though, I think. Faithless Looting. That's 3. We'll just make sure that they realize they have the dart, and then we'll die. Gracefully. Indeed they do. Alright, that, I guess, would have put us to 1 if we had blocked with the Snacker. But then this turn we would play the Eagles. We'd be at 1 life. We could attack with everything. But even that is only 5, 10, 13 damage. So they don't even... But we didn't hit for 4, so they're not even obliged to block. So I don't think we were getting out of that either way, based on our draws. I mean, that's what happens when you don't draw any Prismatics, any Veterans. We did draw 1 Lone Missionary, but oof. Thraben Charm, not having an actual 2-drop's annoying. Veteran's good. Bugler's okay. I think we're going to keep this, but it is very dependent on what we draw. Obviously, our best draw is a 2-drop, probably a Prismatic, probably a Rafine's Informant on turn 2, then a land on turn 3, so we get a Bugler down. Holding up Charm on turn 2 isn't nothing. If they go for like a grab the prize Snacker, we can exile it, but it's not as good as we would like it to be. We get a 3-drop here, not what we want either. It's the other thing. If we don't get a 3rd land or a way to discard these strands, they are just rotting in our hand. And if they just play a Flame Breather, we don't have the creatures to actually kill it with a Thraben Charm yet. I guess I'll attack. If they block, I can pick off the Flame Breather with 2 damage from the Charm and then hit it for the 1. And it might be just enticing enough to block, but all 3 drops is likely not going to do it for us in this game. They don't take the bait. And we'll pass. They swing for 1 and plot a Robbery. Now we get a land, but it's a tap land. Play it and pass. They throw a bolt at us. Faithless Looting. Discard double Fiery Temper, so that's 8 damage right there. We're down to 6. 5 from this. Imagine if we had a Prismatic Strands open there. I mean, I know they probably wouldn't have doubled Fiery Tempered into the Prismatic Strands mana, but I guess it probably just wasn't a good enough hand with so many 3-drops, but we draw lands so often otherwise. Now we draw our planes. I mean, I think not leaving open Prismatic Strands is pretty much a death sentence. Feels like leaving it open is probably a death sentence too. If I just play a Bugler, it's like nothing. We do have 2, so I guess if there's a possibility we can survive, it's by playing these out. Start with a Gutter Snipe. Swing for 1. Cast it now, but if they have anything, then it's pretty bad. I mean, they probably can just cast a thing. I'm going to Prismatic and they can bolt in response, but we got to do what we got to do. They Highway Robbery. We're going to try to prevent the damage and see if they got a response. Indeed, they do. Alright, this hand is bad. This hand's much better. We're going to get rid of, I guess, the Thraben Charm. Looks like we're against something red again, so I'm glad we kept the Prismatic. Start with a Lunatic Veteran. They Lava Dart it right away. Plot a Highway Robbery. Looks like the same deck again. You do get to play an Informant, pitch Prismatic Strands, and pass. They Highway Robbery, discard a Fiery Temper, straight at the Informant. I think we're going to keep it alive, or at least try to. They bolt. I was able to eat 2 Prismatic Strand, I was able to eat 6 damage, which is not bad. You get a Plains, so let me just play a Militia Bugler, I suppose. Take a Thraben Inspector. Another Plains. I think we'll play an Inspector, pick it up with the Skyfisher, and play it again. And pass. Next turn, we can maybe get the Veteran out, and then play the Skyfisher, pick up the Inspector, and that'll gain us a life. They're not doing anything, but they could just be stocking up. Another Veteran is pretty good, though. So let's swing for 5. They have a Fiery Temper. Hard cast, I like that. 3 damage to them. Now we'll play a Veteran. If they want to Lava Dart it, that's fine. They don't, not yet anyway. Pick up this Inspector, play it again. Gain some more life. They don't have anything. We'll swing for 6. It's a lot easier when they don't have a Flame Breather, to be honest. And clearly don't have a Faithless Looting or anything. Another hard cast Fiery Temper. And flashback to Lava Dart on the Veteran. Get a Veteran back. Plus an Inspector. Now we just get to swing for a bunch and crack clues for the next couple turns. Grab the prize on a Snacker. A little late for that, I think. They plot a Highway Robbery. We're going to crack a clue. We're going to crack a clue. And we're going to swing for 6. And we're going to play another Inspector. They finally got a Faithless Looting. Discard 2 Mountains now. And a Gutter Snipe. A weird one from Lord of the Rings. Did not know this version existed. They're going to pass. We get an Inspector. If we can get a Summon, Choco Mog, then that would just be lethal. Hey, we found one. Boom. Let's just get them then. Got game 1. Missionaries and Prismatic Strands. I think what I'm realizing is keep the mana count. Keep the mana curve low. Bugler is a good value card, but we don't really need that against... I mean, you know I'm a hater of Militia Bugler, but I've been playing it for reasons. But I think this is a fine one to take it out, actually. And honestly, Rafine's Informant's really good with the Strands, so I should actually probably be taking out Skyfishers here. And I think the Greatsword, so we'll try it like that. 5 lands is obviously too much, so we're not keeping that. This one looks pretty decent. We're going to keep and get rid of one of these guys. No 1-drop again is nice. I guess the main 1-drop that they play in this version is just Voldaren Epicure, and they Lava Dart it, but feels like Clockwork might still be worth it. I don't know. Plot a Highway Robbery, and 2 mana. I could just play the Inspector, but I guess we'll just get back the Veteran, use up our mana, and if they want to Lava Dart it again, that's fine. Cast the Highway Robbery. Discard a Mountain. Skyfisher's nice. I can play a Novice Inspector. I can play a Skyfisher. And then if they let that go through, I can pick up the Luminous Phantom. But they wisely flash it back, but at least they have to sack a land for that. And this is why I played the Inspector first, was so that I can at least pick it up. They also have a Lightning Bolt. Annoying, but fine. Pick this up for value, I suppose. They grab the prize with a Snacker. Play a Mountain. We have another Inspector. So I'm probably just playing these 2, so I'll crack a clue first just to see if we get a better 2-drop, like a... I don't know, potentially a Rafine's Informant or something. But we did not, so we'll just play these 2 out. They swing for 2. There's an Epicure. Discard a Snacker with the Blood. Nothing else, though. Could leave up Prismatic. I think we're going to summon and then leave up Prismatic next turn. If this eats a Bolt, that's fine. I also want to be mana efficient and crack a clue here, but in case this survives, I probably just want to play an Inspector for the extra pump. So we'll do that and pass. They bolt us. We'll see if I'm going to regret not holding up the Prismatic here. Start with a Faithless Looting. That's going to get back the Snacker. Discard a Lava Dart. Good to know about. Swing for 2. Bolt the Choco Mog. Another Inspector. We're going to crack a clue here, I think. get a plains, so I'm going to play the Inspector. Swing with the 3 we got. I'm probably going to have to Prismatic on blue or black for the Snackers, as well as potentially red, depending on what they play. 4 damage is just a lot here, I think. So I'm going to cast that, take nothing. They plot a Highway Robbery. We get an Informant, let's crack a clue. Battle Screech. That's pretty good because it can block the Snackers. I could play the Informant first, but I don't think I need to do that. Let's just play this. Flashback and swing for 3. Pass. They cast the Robbery before they've attacked, discarding a Mountain. They grab the prize with the Fiery Temper. Temper at the face. That's 5 damage. Feels like Prismatic might be worth it here. If I tap one of these, though, then they can get in with 1 Snacker. What do we have on the crackback? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't block. So without an Anthem, we're not winning this turn anyway. We have a couple draws to find an Anthem, though. 5 damage is a lot. I think we're going to Prismatic it so that we don't take 5 damage. They don't swing with the Snackers. We get an Informant. Pardon the fireworks outside. We're going to play one of these guys. Ditch a Plains. Crack a clue. Get a Veteran now, but it's not going to gain us any life at this point. This turn, that is. I think we swing with everything. We haven't seen a Remosian Rally the entire league, which is frustrating. They just take it. I mean, that's not lethal, so that makes sense. I guess I'll play a Veteran just for the fear. Probably should have played the Informant because we got a Prismatic Strands. That could have been a relevant card. Without it, we are just dead to a couple bolts here. Swing with the team. We will block the one we can, for all that it'll matter. Fiery Temper and a Lightning Bolt. Alright, let's try again. This hand looks pretty solid, with some life gain and a reasonable curve. Play Inspector. We have a Tormod's Crypt. Not too concerned with that. I might very well discard this Battle Screech to this Informant, but we'll just make sure we can use it right away. We're going to play a Missionary here to gain 4. Then again, we have 4 lands, so I might just hold the Battle Screech till we can play it for full value anyway. They have a Flame Breather. Another Plains. Well, I am going to play this Informant, so we'll see what I pitch. Another land. I mean, I guess I get the Battle Screech out right now by casting it. And I'm not doing anything with these guys because they can't attack past. But we have so many lands. I kind of want to get more value out of it next turn. But if I don't discard it, this is also just a 2-1, so it can't even attack past this. So I think we will get rid of the Battle Screech. Flashback right away. Chain Lightning the Informant. That's going to work. Cast into the Fire of the Birds. Annoying. And we draw another Plains. Well, I'll crack a clue. Prismatic Strands is okay, I suppose. We'll buff up the Missionary so we can attack past. But 3 lands more than we really want in this match. I only started with 3 in hand, so I've drawn exclusively Plains. I've drawn 4 Plains. No, I also drew the Prismatic Strands. My mistake. There's another Missionary. Swing for 3. Fiery Temper this guy. They're at 2 cards in hand. Do I want to save it? We lose this Prismatic to the Tormod's Crypt, but we don't really have any pressure otherwise. Sure, we'll do it. Not sure it's the right call, but here we are. Get him for 3, and we'll play another Missionary. They do crack the Tormod's Crypt, wisely. They got another Mountain, so they're getting a little flooded too, but okay, well, we have a Prismatic. We'll swing with this Visionary. They go for a block. The Lava Dart, I guess? Or a Searing Blaze? Cast in the Fire. Well, I'm gonna Prismatic, try to keep these guys alive. And they blocked, which is pretty good. We get to take out their Flame Breather and they only have 1 card left. Plus we still have the Prismatic. Now we're in a good spot. And they concede. Okay, well, I guess we were able to get there. Didn't feel like it was going great for us, but clearly it wasn't going great for them either. So on to match 5. All right, on the draw here. Fine enough. We have plays on 1, 2, and 3. Not necessarily a 2-drop, but that's okay. They're on green, but no 1-drop is interesting. We get a Veteran, another one. Green, but no. So Generous Ent, so that could be Spy or Dredge. Double Forests, Makes me think it's probably, yeah, walls or elves. Walls, I can Thraben Charm it next turn. So, I mean, we're going to do the old bluff attack. Get in for a nice 1 damage. Play a Skyfisher, but then that... I mean, I could still Thraben Charm next turn. It's 2 damage over the treetops. I think we'll just do a veteran. I mean, the life gain is irrelevant against a combo deck, but we're just going to go wide, I think. And then I guess this is a little awkward because next turn, if we really want or need to Thraben Charm, I actually don't have a 1-drop. Might have been a mistake, honestly. There's a Caretaker and another. Into 3, which is a Sagu Wildling for another forest. Into an Axebane Guardian. Well, that was outrageous. So we definitely have to hold up Thraben Charm. Question is, do I just use it? Or do I hold it up? We're going to swing with everybody, because why not? They're going to block all of them? That's outrageous. What if I have a Guardian's Pledge here? I think this is an atrocious block. These two, I was like, okay, but also the Axebane? That's crazy. I mean, they got me, but what if I had a Guardian's Pledge? Okay, Thraben Charm on the Axebane. I mean, otherwise they have 8, 9 mana. I can cut it down to just 4. All green. No, they still have some colored because the Caretakers. I think I just shoot it now. Too much stuff they can do, I think. Man, I wish I had a Guardian's Pledge so badly. They have a Troll of Khazad Doom, which means they have to have swamps in the deck, which means this is not a normal Walls deck. It makes me think they might actually be like Walls Spy combo or something for some reason. Because they could be... The Sagu Wildling already gave me a little bit of an indication that maybe they're on like a 5 or 6 land Walls deck, which I've seen going around. I've never seen them with Troll, though, which is very interesting. I could play a Bugler. It's more mana efficient. To be honest, I think I just want to get the Flyer down and pick up the Inspector, and then I can Grange up the Skyfisher so it's just more damage in the air. And then I think, because I'm kind of trying to draw to removal, I'm just going to crack the Clue token rather than play the Inspector, because I'm still worried about the wall combo. If they are just attacking with this Troll, which, I mean, that's what it's going to be doing, I have a lot of life gain. I'm not super worried about it. So I'm just worried. I'm just not sure what's going on. There's a Gatecreeper Vine. Okay, again, I definitely think it's like a 6-land, 5-land deck. There's a Swamp. And a Lead the Stampede. I mean, I've played an Elves/Spy combo deck, so why not Walls/Spy? They get 4 out of 5. Pretty nice for them. Vandal, Mesmeric Fiend, Generous Ent, and a Wildling. They pass. We're going to crack a Clue. They could have tapped this for 4. Why didn't they play something? I guess Mesmeric Fiend they didn't think was good enough? I don't know. You got the Summon. Summon doesn't really get these past anything at the moment, so I think I'm just going to play the Bugler. See what we pull up there. Nothing. I know we've hit on the last couple, but this is why I hate Bugler, is that it does not always hit. I'm just going to swing at the Skyfisher. And, I mean, we don't have anything to play to, like, even if we didn't want to tap out, we don't have anything to play anyway, so we'll just play these guys and see what they got. We're still at 25 life, though, so I'm really not worried about a Troll beatdown, but the fact that they can now play, like, maybe a Generous Ent and a Saga Wildling, too, could be tough. They have a Commune with Nature for a Spy. Yep. Saga Wildling pulls out potentially the last land, and then they Spy. And I assume that's going to be game. So they're on 5 lands. We're going to take a moment to peep their graveyard. Of course, they're going to have a Lotless Giant with a Dread Return. It's going to be lethal, so we're dead, but let's see what else they got going on. 2 Dread Returns, Dimir Houseguard. I was thinking that to tutor up the Spy. Looks like 2 Giants, 2 Trolls, a couple Mesmeric Fiends, Wildlings. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, it's just walls plus spot. It's just walls plus Spy. Interestingly, the walls don't actually have anything to, like, infinite off of. It's just there for the blocking and the mana. Corn Harvest also in the grave. All right. Well, now that I know that, if I had known that, I would just have saved the Thraben Charm for the graveyard. So good to know about. Prismatic Strands prevents the Lotleth Giant damage. Seeing as they don't really have any way to deal us damage other than like a Troll, I think a Sentinel seems solid. And Journey to Nowhere honestly doesn't seem necessary. Great Sword of Tear seems okay. Buglers are just slow, and as always, I hate them. I think I might even prefer like a Journey over one of them. We'll just try that. 5 lands. Nope. 3 lands. Yeah, we can keep. You don't have any of our interaction. We'll pitch a land. We're going to start with the Inspector. The life gain from the Veteran's not super relevant. And if I just play the Skyfisher on turn 2, I'd rather get an extra clue out of it. Play their Wildling, pick up a Swamp. Do get our Plains. Attack for 1, Skyfisher, pick up the Inspector. Play a Swamp and a Battlement. Battle Screech. Attack for 2. I think I'm just playing an Inspector and cracking a clue so that I can hopefully hit this Battle Screech on curve. They have a great Gatekeeper Vine. / also I'm looking for a Thraben Charm, because if they're able to just pull out all their lands, they could potentially spy next turn. There's a Lead the Stampede. No spy. 2 Vines, Wildling. They can definitely get their lands, though. Crack a clue. Pitch a land grant. We get an Eagles of the North. So, not really anything we're wanting. Get a Grange. Play that. So we get an extra damage by doing this guy. Attack for 4. I'm going to leave up 2 mana to crack a clue, but also to potentially look like we have a Thraben Charm so that they'll be hesitant to go for it. There's a Caretaker, a Vine, and a Wildling. Okay, crack a clue. Get another summon. So we can just play one of these, again leaving up like we have a Thraben Charm. They failed to find, so they already have their 5th land, which means, what does that mean? I mean, I could just hold up as if we have the Thraben Charm. We know they have a Gatekeeper Vine, and unless they sideboarded out a land, we know they have the other land, so that means only 2 cards to have a Spy. I feel like I might want to risk it and just play the Battle Screech and the Inspector so that next turn I can play a summon, maybe 2 Chocomogs, attack for a bunch. It very well might be the death of me, but I think I'd rather do this, which leads us to potentially win in a turn or 2, as opposed to just bluffing, which has absolutely worked for me before and won me games, but I just don't think it's what we're going for this time. We do also gain a little bit of life, but certainly not going to be enough unless we get like above 40 for it to surpass a Lotleth Giant. We also haven't drawn any Prismatic Strands or anything. Oh, look, they have the Spy. They also brought in Mirror Shell Crab and stuff, but we are dead. All right, a 3-2 at the end there. A little frustrating because we just didn't draw anything we needed in that last match. We had 4 Prismatic Strands, 4 Thraben Charms, didn't see a single one of them. But that's how it goes sometimes. As always, it's possible that I should have mulliganed aggressively for them. It's probably right to try to do so because they are a deck that can win on turn 4 or 5. We are generally not a deck that can win before turn 5. So it's possible I should mulligan aggressively for them, but when I get a hand that looks pretty reasonable with 1 drops, 2 drops, 3 drops, it's kind of hard to throw that away. But I probably should for a match that I know I'm not going to win that way unless I get lucky. They also did just happen to have the Spy, which is unfortunate for us. In any case, the Chocomogs are decent. They feel really good sometimes, but I'm not really sure if they're actually better than just a Guardian's Pledge. Being able to give +2/+2 it's very easy to win with even 4 or 5 creatures off a Guardian's Pledge, whereas the Chocomog makes it so that you really have to win in like a single turn, like 7 or 8, and or you can win with 4 or 5 over the course of a couple turns, but that's not always how you want to do it. So not really sure it's better in the deck, but definitely an interesting card to try out. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my $10 patrons, Howard Granger, Lars, JMW, and Luca I. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.